Maybe he is broke today. But who knows? You can get married to a guy who is rich today, but he's broke tomorrow. And there is another guy who is broke today, but rich tomorrow. Let me ask you this question. I encourage every guy, you have to get a job, start a business, get some money. Listen to me.
Hello, family. So you're listening to the Inside Chino podcast, and today we're with the amazing Miss Courtney Ngombe, and we're going to be talking about love and depression. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll let Miss Courtney introduce herself before we dive into the amazing topic we're going to be discussing today.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Courtney Tanya Ngombe, but you can call me Empire. And yes, thank you for having me on this show. I'm very much excited to be here.
I'm sure she's just being modest. But if you could hear your track record, then you'd know the complexities of who Miss Courtney is. But anyways, no wasting much of our time. Firstly, I would like to ask Kuti that we talked about how love and romantic relationships are leading to depression among young people. What would you say are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so what I think is, us as young people, we actually do not know what love really is. We are misinterpreting love because patiriku danana, when we think kuti tiriku danana, we actually just doing it just for the physicality of it, just kuti tinzichi tiriku danana, and we think kuti kudanana is just having a physical relationship or just kissing or just giving each other gifts. But being in love is much more than that, and we do not understand what love really is. That's why we end up doing the wrong things in the name of love. That's why we end up sacrificing our dignity. That's why we end up sacrificing our faces in front of society in the name of in the name of love. And then after that, we are hurt tinorwadzisana in the name of love. Tinenge tichirwadzisana pakuti we cheat, we go out with other people whilst we're in another relationship nemumwe munhu, and pakurwadzisana ikoko, when actually the other person finds out what the other person is doing, we end up hurting. Tunaita heartbreaks. Pakuita heartbreaks ipapo kana kuti I just wake up ndikudandana newe and you're in love with me, and the next thing I just wake up ndakutokuramba api unenge wakatonyura zvekutodaro wakutoita depressed because warambwa nini. Inini pamwe I'm your first love, pamwe unotondiida zvekutodaro, and inini ndakungomuka ndakakuramba because ndoda kungotambawo newe, but ndechikunyebera kuti ndokuda. So those are the things that are causing heartbreaks and causing depression in young people. It also results in suicidal thoughts to us young people. Tinenge takufunga zvakawanda and zvinotikanganisa, and that's what I think hangu kuti palove kana tisiri kuziva kuti love chii, ngatisangopindei mulove macho because we are misinterpreting love.
It's a very, in a way, complex matter. But then the matter arises, how do we make sure that, how do we try to solve this issue to make sure that we, young people, don't get in relationships without knowing, without being equipped with the right knowledge of what to do in a relationship. How do we teach young people to make sure that when they do this, they know what they're doing and why they're doing it from your perspective? I was going through Instagram a while ago and I saw a post by someone which said, guys, I hate going out with someone anotaka shikantanga calculator something. Kana usina mari, was it CNN my relationship? So don't ask me, I don't remember. It's things like that. Chakuti, it gives us pressure with kana usina mari, don't get in relationships. You think with kana usina mari, you don't deserve to be in a relationship as a guy. So we'll get to that later. But how do we equip young people so that they know no, it's not about gifts. No, it's not about sexual intimacy. No, it's not about this. But it's about caring about each other. It's about this and this. How do we equip us as young people?
Okay, so first off, personally, I would say, if we do not understand, do not get into it. You ask first. It's the shows like this. Young people need to listen to podcasts like this so that they can have knowledge, so that they can be equipped with the right amount of information on what to do and what not to do. Like you were saying, Kuti, an IG post said, kana usingakwanise kupinda relationship usina mari, or kana uchida kundi take her out, take me to a fancy place. One question you need to ask yourself is, can you afford to do that yourself? If you cannot take yourself to a fancy place, don't expect someone's son to take you to a fancy place. Don't tell them kuti hauna mari when you cannot even take yourself ikoko. Put your standards first. Check yourself first. And secondly, ateskutaurisa nyaya dzemari chete, because taitautaurisa nyaya dzemari, some of us would not be here right now, and some of our mothers and fathers would not be married right now. Some people vakatotanga vasina mari, but because they loved each other, they took care of each other, they evolved together, and they built their empire together. Yes, there is such a thing as a humble beginning. There is such a thing as starting from scratch. You don't just start wakuti wakutogona kutaura uri mwana mudiki. There is no such thing. And yes, pakudzidzisa vanhu, we need like the career guidance, like sort of career guidance yekuti vanhu tinovatora vana vechikoro, we take time to have like guidance and counseling. Those type of subjects are important. They are very much important, in as much as we would want to learn mathematics, in as much as we would want to learn the English language. Guidance and counseling is also an important subject. Have guidance and counseling in schools. We also need podcasts like this. We also need to listen to other people's story, read other people's story. We have books that teach us on love. We have books that teach us on how to live life in a mental stability whilst you also have love. Because if you see, when we're talking about love, munhu wese anenge achingocomplaina kuti mujolo this, mujolo that, mujolo has, mujolo wasoti, and zvinostressa. Because kuita mujolo ka usinganyatsonzwisisa kubva nekwauri kuenda, and you're still too young futi, zvinokupa stress. And watova nestress yemujolo, hauchaconcentrate kuchikoro, watova nedepression, kumba they're expecting something big from you, and your capacity to produce something meaningful inenge yato low. Saka isusu tiri kuti kana wakuda kuita zvemujolo, do not get into what you do not understand. Have the right information. have the correct thing, the do's and don'ts. Know your persons. You cannot do unto a person so asirikuda just because you are learn to compromise and also learn to sacrifice. Mese muri tu nzana naye musangana pakati, and I think yes, that's what should happen. Saka, let's have guidance and counseling in schools. Let's listen to podcasts like this. Let's read and not stress too much on these love relationships when we are young.
Yeah, that's very true and a valid point. Because at some point, zvinotipa pressure isusu varume. Though why do you expect someone else's son kuti aende newe out if you can't take yourself out, or baba vako cannot take you out for dinner or just defense event, right? Because zvinotipa pressure to us as varume, a lot of pressure. I don't want to lie to you, it's not pressure, it is serious, right? But then when you said kuti kana usingarizive siyana nazvo, yeah, I respect abstinence from relationships and other stuff very much, but I feel like where we are right now as a generation, we are in too deep to an extent that saying kuti abstinence is far-fetched, and in a realistic approach we can't really say kuti that's a reliable solution, right? So how can we say kuti, like, can we really rely on saying kuti siyana nazvo? Can that actually solve the issue? Because it's a big issue. Can that actually solve the issue? And you said kuti go do research. Where do you go and do that research? Where can we do that research? Really, because I don't need pressure. I don't want to lie. It's under pressure, you see.
Okay, so as I was saying, Andati abstain. Okay, when you're still too young, it's better to just not get into it. You know, there's a certain age, like our parents used to say, when you're not yet 18, I don't want, and this one kana guy. Those guys, they knew because they have been there and they have done that, and we're still young, okay? And when we vaitosvika paextent yekuti 21 years, you don't date until you're 21 years. That's why most of the relationships anotanga, they are very secret, because vanenge achirambidzwa kumba mwana musikana anenge asingadotombode kuonekwa ane mukomana kana one, because those parents knew what these relationships are like. Munenge muchiti he vari kutirambidza kuizviita, and then maybe mozviita in secret, but vanenge vachitoziva. And then secondly, when I said research, okay, and I said research unotsvaga mabooks, it's there. They have written about it on the internet. It's there. They have written about it. Even kufunza your relatives, kana ana tete, kana ana mama, anani, depending on the type of relationship that you have, like your closest relative, you are free to talk to. You can ask, how do I go about this? How do I do this? How do I know that I'm at a very dangerous place? How do I know that I'm in a toxic relationship? How do I know that if a guy acts this way, he loves me? If a guy acts this way, he is using me. If a girl acts this way, she is using me. If a girl acts this way, she loves me. So we have to know this kind of things and know where to get them. Like I said, my podcasts like this are to be listened in my young generations. Like you said, we are in too deep with this, so let's listen If we are in too deep with this, let's listen to podcasts like this. Let's research from our relatives. Let's research from the internet. Let's research from the books. That's what I would say. That's what I think. And that's what would really work.
Yeah, that's actually true. Because this is, you see, someone like go primary, and you'd be surprised. You'd be like, and I mean, like it's crazy. It's crazy. But so the question is, what do we do about these young people? Like, let's give an example of Farco University. What do we do about those young people who were saying good love is causing depression? Because there was an instance where on Valentine's Day, I'm sure you've seen the viral videos of those failed proposals. Like that was embarrassing. Imagine proposing in a food outlet full of people, then she says no. That's embarrassing. What do you give advice of young people who are above 18? Okay, let's say above 18 or university, and were saying, you know what, the love is, guys, it's too much. It's depressive. Because we know that if we tell them we don't do it, they will still do it. Because someone will be hurt today, then you hear them 3 days from now telling you that I've got a new boyfriend. What do we do about it? About the sugar daddies, about the depression. What do you think should be done on that?
Okay. I really think that those failed proposals have a deeper meaning to them. For example, you're a guy and wakatonyura zvekutodaro, and you're planning to propose kunemsikana wako on Valentine's Day, and you decide to do it in public. First of all, you have to find out if she really and truly loves you, because vamwe vatiri kunyeberwa and vamwe tiri kunyeba out there. We are lying to ourselves and we are lying to other people about this love. You know, when we're dating and we're at that age, I can be able to marry you. You don't have to lie to me. You have to be certain. You have to be sure. But it's also, we just want fun. Okay, we just want fun. We don't want serious things. Saka, when a guy becomes serious, muskana antanga kufunga kuti, so indeed he is the one that I'm ending up with. He's not even my type. I don't even like her. I don't even like him wearing formal trousers, or I don't even like him wearing those type of shoes. This is my husband. A lot comes through our minds during that moment, and then we end up saying no, because I see your life yatinenge tichida, and that's not a life partner yatinenge tichida. We're just doing these things for fun. So inini, I would advise vanhu vari kuma universities, or those that are in relationships and are ready to settle down and be a family, I would advise them to find out first if they are truly loved, or to propose in private. Nobody can know. No one will know. And if that kind of embarrassment is way less when you're in private than in public, hatisi varungu. Let's go back to the fact yekuti isusu hatisi varungu. Let's not try and copy everything. In as much as we would want to live in a modern era, we are not white and we are blacks, and some things cannot change because of that. Also, vanenge very like at that stage yekuti they are now serious, they should take advice. They should first take advice, not from their friends vanenge vakagara navo or not. They should take advice from the elders. They should take advice from the elders. In as much as we would want to ignore this, it always comes back to the elders.
If we can solve it, then it creates a bigger problem. Because this sugar daddy thing, it's killing us as young people. It is. At the same time, it's giving too much pressure on young men. So it becomes even a bigger problem on both us as young men and young women. Right. So are we the cursed generation? Is there no hope at all for us? Where does it all end? How does it work out in the future? Because we cannot say what is going to be a problem because it won't. It won't. Because inini kana ndakatozoona kuti ndakatotorwa munhu wangu in high school by some guy in a Benz or something, when I make money pamwe ndichazotozviitawo mberi. I don't know. It becomes a cycle. How do we break that cycle exactly? That's where the issue is. How do we break the cycle? Because it goes back to it goes now to the point where manji, we spoke about in episode 1, yet depression, right? Because there are cases where even young people are killing themselves because it's love, ndakarambwa, or something like that. How do we break the cycle?
And also, problem with the sugar daddies, right? Problem in my sugar daddy we want to live a life that we do not have. We see someone's father and he is driving a Fortuner, and iwewe you are walking on your legs and wabakumba nemakombi because your father cannot afford a car. Then you see someone else's father and then you think, kudanana nemwana mdiki or kudanana nemunhu wezera rangu is just a waste of time because I may end up like my father and mother without a car and what. So we want to bling. We put in a peer pressure. Yema iPhone, tine peer pressure, ye yembe, tine peer pressure, ye butsu, ye mari, ye msoro, ye kurukwa, ye everything, right? So that kind of peer pressure, especially when you go to university, unosangana nevanhu vakasiyana siyana vakawanda, and when you go to university, uchatanga kufunga kuti I need to have lunch, like I need to have KFC every day, and uitonge munhu ane mari stereke, and then you end up wakudata a sugar daddy. This problem aimbofa yakapera unless you yourself is disciplined, unless you are very disciplined. Aimbofa yakapera, because kana utori nzenza. And when you're not, when you think things just come as easy, and when you think things just come as easy, then you will never change. That will never change. You need to work hard for yourself. Kana uine discipline, kana uine focus, and kana uine purpose. You will never find yourself doing that. You will never find yourself going to another person's father just so that you can date them. You will never find that. That's what I think. And that problem will never end unless you are disciplined. In as much as we would want to give them advice on what to do and what not to do, kana usita na discipline, then there's nothing we can do about it.
This problem, it really needs more time for us to be able to say we can work it out. But with the little time that we have, do you have any last words, Miss Courtney, that you feel are very paramount, that young people need to know and need to learn? If you have a few words, maybe you can just share with us. And even if you can, you mentioned about books and articles you read. Do you have any references that you can say, Kuti, go look for this is helpful, that is helpful, that would be amazing? Especially I'm a bookworm myself.
Okay, so before I leave, I would just want to say that it is very much important for us young people to understand what love is first before we dive in. And also, when you want to learn, please by all means do have an adult to talk to, because they know better. And if you think talking to an adult is not your type of thing, you can also read books. Look for Gary Chapman, look for Colin Hoover, and look for Forgive Yourself, a book titled Forgive Yourself. That one, it really teaches a lot about love. Yes, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Miss Courtney. This was an amazing session. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And if you haven't listened to the first episode, just go and tune in. Don't forget to comment, like, visit our other social pages on Instagram, interact with us. And if you feel like there's a topic that you need us to talk about, just buzz me on my Instagram page. I'll try my best to reply as fast as possible. And if you think you've got a story to tell, as long as you're a young person, it's about young people, buzz me on my Instagram page or my Facebook page, or just leave a comment below. I'll definitely get back to you.
I'm your host, Ben Gray.
So thank you, guys. You're the best. Cheers.